All right, part 2, guys. We're going into court. Everybody loves going into court. Going into court's the best part of the game. June 21st, 9:48 a.m. Too early. Too early. Court should start at like 11. Give people enough time to wake up. Nani? Prosecutor von Karma? You don't mean... No, I heard it's his successor this time. Successor? Manfred von Karma? He was a really sinister man. He pulled all sorts of nasty tricks, all so he could win. He was a man obsessed with the word perfection. He had a perfect record for 40 long years. Who knows what sort of dirty tricks he used to get a guilty verdict each time. And now his successor, I wonder what kind of person they'll turn out to be. It's no good. Mystic Maya. Pearly? You shut up! Thanks for coming all this way. I was really worried about you. Hey, where's your mother? Didn't you two come together? Mother is watching over the trainees. She said they have training for 2 days straight with no breaks. Huh? Then you came all the way by yourself? Yup. I snuck out the manor and followed a map. Don't tell me you walked all the way here. Of course not. I ran. I can't. Oh my. If it takes 2 hours by train, then... Pearly, what about the train? Huh? What's a train? Oh my god, she's too cute for words. It's time, isn't it? I'm really scared. What if Von Karma tries to do something to me? At least I know Mr. Edgeworth would at least be nicer to me than Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth? Who's that? He's Nick's rival. Well, he's also a friend. Oh, no, objection! I still remember him as if I had only seen him yesterday. Every trial was a scorching, fierce battle until the very end. It was always back and forth with them. But when you're rivals for life, Maya, please don't mention that name ever again. Huh? But why, Nick? I'm sorry, Maya. I forgot you don't know. He's gone, and he's not coming back. What? Wait a second. What's that supposed to mean? Court will commence shortly. Please proceed unto the courtroom. Let's go. Now's not the time for talk about that anyway. Nick? June 21st, 10 a.m. District Courtroom number 2. Rabble, 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 rabble. Best part.
Court is now in session for the trial of Maya Fey. Are the prosecution and the defense prepared?
What is with this girl?
Ahem! Mr. Wright, are you finally prepared?
Huh? Oh, yes, Your Honor. Why does he always seem mad at me? All right, give me a second, guys. I want to play with my voice modulator and get a voice for the sexy blue-haired lady. All right, let's see. We gotta get a nice girly voice, but it's gotta be less stupid sounding than this one. Wow. Okay. High pitch.
That sounds like I'm a... There we go. Test.
Oh. How's this one? What do you guys think of this one? No, that's too weird. That sounds like... No, that sounds bad.
How about this one? I think this one works. She does seem badass.
Maybe I give her like a deep girl voice. A deep girl voice. How do I do a deep girl voice? Pitch up, form down. Right here. Right here. Oh god, this is just so bad.
Is this what we're going with? Is this what we're going with, guys?
Maybe I don't give her a voice. Maybe I just do a voice. It's hard to get like a good higher pitched lady sounding voice with the modulator, man.
It's tough.
It's tough. It's not easy.
Okay, I guess I'll go with this one. Because why not? Why not? Test, 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 test. Okay. Loop. Record it. Save it.
Okay, we got judge voice.
Lady voice.
Phoenix voice. Cool. Shut up, Moist.
Mr. Phoenix Wright. You must be a little shocked because I am a woman, correct?
Hold on. So this kid is the famed prosecutor von Karma?
I am Franziska von Karma, the prodigy.
I see.
I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge, Phoenix.
Revenge? Is this about her father, Manfred von Karma?
If it's something of a personal nature, I'm sure you can... Ow!
I am talking. If you interrupt again, my whip will do the speaking for me.
Please speak with your mouth like a normal person. I beg of you.
Whoa! Make no mistake, I will defeat you. Prepare to go down, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Prosecutor von Karma, your opening statement, please.
Those of von Karma blood only have one fate, and that is perfection. The defendant, Maya Fey, will find no escape from her guilt on my watch.
Very well. What is the defense's position?
Your Honor.
Does the defense enter a plea of not guilty?
Yes.
Foolish fool who foolishly dreams of foolish dreams. 10 minutes. I give the defense 10 minutes before it changes its plea. That's right. I'll have you running for the justified self-defense plea in no time.
The justified self-defense. A plea usually reserved for when a person unintentionally kills in defense of him or herself. We could very easily make a solid case, but it was self-defense, but the defense stands by the plea of not guilty, Your Honor, because to plead justified self-defense is to say that you did kill someone.
If that's how you want to play, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then I shall now call the first witness.
She's just as scary as her father. Like father, like daughter, I suppose. Alright, Miss Law. Oh, I thought it was gonna be Miss Law to Heart. Alright, give me some dank evidence. Give me some dank evidence, Gumshoe.
Witness, your name and occupation.
Yes, sir. My name is Dick Gumshoe. I'm a detective at the local precinct. Yes, sir. My name is Dick Gumshoe. I'm a detective at the local precinct. Whoa!
Get to the point already. Explain to the court the details of this murder.
Yeah. Yes, sir. If everybody would please look at this map. The channeling chamber has no windows, and the door was locked shut. At the time of the murder, only the victim and the defendant were in the room.
What were they doing in there?
They were channeling, sir. A spirit.
Channeling a spirit?
The look of disbelief on the judge's face is, ahem! Anyway, after a few minutes, the channeling started. Gunshots was heard coming out from the room inside, sir. A few of the witnesses broke down the door and rushed into the room.
Ah, and that's when they found the victim was already dead, correct? I believe this is one of the most open and shut cases I have ever presided over.
Yeah, it does look really bad, as is.
I'm okay.
It's so hot. hot like hot coffee. I'll stick to Mountain Dew until the coffee cools. All right, so we have the floor plans.
So how was the victim killed?
I was about to get to that.
Stop wasting my time then.
The cause of death? I hate this new investigation music. The direct cause of death was the pistol shot to the forehead, sir. The shot was fired from point-blank range, but before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. The murderer used the pistol to finish off the victim after the stabbing.
So the victim was stabbed before being shot.
This is the victim's autopsy report, sir. Dope. We needed that.
The court accepts it into evidence. Mr. Wright, you may question the witness.
Cause of death. The direct cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead, sir. Alright, but first, let's take a look at this case file, because I'm pretty sure he was also stabbed. After being stabbed in the chest, he was shot in the forehead at point blank. And I can't look for more details in it. That's it. That's all I got. Okay, let's press on that. The murder weapon, Detective Gumshoe. Whose pistol was it? It was the victim's. The victim? Now, why would he have...
Why would he have a pistol? Who cares? The point is that you are missing is whose fingerprints are on that pistol. If you're not already paying attention to that, then I suggest you start.
Fingerprints? There were fingerprints.
Along with the victims. The defendant, Maya Fey, was also on the grip, sir. That's no good.
So the defendant's fingertips were left on the murder weapon.
Walked right into her hands there. A shot was fired from point-blank range. Point blank, huh? So how far away was it? Well, that's anywhere between 12 to 20 inches away. And how do you know he was shot at point blank?
Tisk, tisk, tisk. Mr. Phoenix Wright. I grow tired of this foolish foolery, of the foolish fools of this foolish country.
Excuse me?
Gunpowder burn.
Gunpowder burn?
When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole.
Gunpowder exploding is what makes a bullet fire. And that gets real hot, pal. And there were definitely some gunpowder burns left on the victim's forehead. Wow. I never knew that. Live and learn, I guess. But before the victim was stabbed, or before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. Okay, I need more info about that, because that's the weird part here. Stabbed, and what was he stabbed with? A fruit knife.
I see. And whose knife was it?
It looked like it belongs to the face, sir. And of course, Maya Fey's fingerprints are all over it.
All over it, huh?
Oh man, this does not look good.
What will you do now, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. Well, hold on a second. Oh, the stab wound. That's right, that's right. How severe was the wound? If it had been half an inch more to the right, it would have hit the victim's heart. After a stab like that, it's impossible to fight back, let alone stand. His testimony makes Maya look like she had stabbed him with the intent to kill. The murderer used the pistol to finish off the victim after the stabbing. Nothing sounds out of place so far. I should try to learn more about the murder weapons for now. Alright, so the direct cause of death was the pistol shot to the forehead. Let's take a quick look at... Oh, I don't have them in evidence. I want to check the floor plans real quick. Okay. Well, the shot was fired from point-blank range, but before the victim was shot, he was stabbed in the chest. The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. The murderer used the pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing. See, the thing that's weird to me here is that, like, why not just stab him again? Why steal his gun and do all that? You know, I'm not too sure. I don't fully understand the use of the pistol. The shot was fired from point blank range, and we got that. But before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. I want to repress on this one. Stabbed, and what was he stabbed with? A fruit knife that isn't submitted into your evidence yet, because that's cool. Okay. The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. The murderer used the pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing. This is the only piece of evidence I have so far, this bullet hole on the folding screen. But I don't really see how that applies here yet. Huh, I don't get it. I don't get it. You can present profiles in this game too, but I don't think that's going to help us at all in this scenario. I wish we just had more information. I wish we had more evidence at this point. Yo, what up, Poo Spaghetti? Any ideas, chat? Chat, you guys got any ideas? I'm a little bit at a loss here. Feel free to help me out. Feel free to chime in with your tips, with your critical thinking. Before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. Very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. The murderer used the pistol. I want to repress on this one. Are you sure he was stabbed first, then shot? Yep, sure as sure can be. One look at the wounds, and you'd come to the same conclusion too, pal. A fool is a fool who will only listen to foolish opinions of other foolish fools. A pistol shot to the forehead at point blank is certainly enough to kill instantly. Does it matter then which was first? Think a little bit more before you open that big mouth of yours, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Grrr. Oh, I just didn't press on everything. Oh, that's... Well, I feel dumb.
That's enough. We have clearly established how the victim was murdered.
I brought the 2 murder weapons with me today.
Very well. The court accepts them into evidence.
Pistol added to the court record. Fruit knife added to the fort record.
The date and time of death was June 19th at 3:15 p.m. Eyewitnesses claim to have heard 2 gunshots at this time.
And the 2 murder weapons, both with the defendant's fingerprints on them? This does seem like an open and shut case.
Yeah, quit your bowing.
Naturally.
This is going from bad to worse. As if the summary just now wasn't oversimplifying things to the extreme already.
Your Honor, feel free to slam that little gavel of yours. After all, there is no room left for doubt, is there?
That is quite true. Mr. Wright.
Yeah?
Even in the face of all this, do you still wish to plead not guilty? It is the opinion of this court that if you do not adjust your plea, you stand to lose.
See, just as I promised, Mr. Phoenix Wright, you would have changed your plea in less than 10 minutes.
What will you do, Mr. Wright? Will you change to justified self-defense? Because now would be the time to do so. This is your final chance.
This is a huge decision. I'd better think this through all the way, though. Not guilty. I don't know why, but you know what? I feel like if my psychic spirit lady came in and explained that I'm not gonna, you know, it's a video game. It's gonna be not guilty. If it was real life, I'd take the self-defense plea. We would basically be confessing to a murder at that point. After the trial, Maya's life would be destroyed and she'd be labeled as a murderer. And we can't have that. Can't accept that one. Your Honor.
Have you reached a conclusion, Mr. Wright?
The defense will not change its plea. We will accept nothing short of a complete acquittal. Yo, she needs to quit whipping me before I lose it.
You have sealed your fate, Mr. Phoenix Wright, a detective.
Yes, sir.
Present the final portion of your testimony. The final strike.
Yes, sir.
Now, see here. Proceedings are run by...
Whoa.
Oh, yes, of course. Go ahead. Detective, give your testimony.
I think the court would like to hear about the other place of incriminating evidence you have.
Incriminating evidence. Sorry, pal, but there's an even more incriminating piece of evidence. This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. As you can see, it's covered in blood, and it has a bullet hole that I just saw. The defendant was attacked. The defendant attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back.
So, this is the costume. There certainly is evidence of the back spray of blood on this.
This piece directly links Maya Fey to the crime, sir.
I see. The court accepts this into evidence.
Yo, my evidence list is growing fast, dude.
All right, Mr. Wright.
Maya's fingerprints on both murder weapons and blood splatters on her clothes. Could this situation get any worse?
What's wrong? You seem to be at a loss. I think this is the last piece of testimony the prosecution should have to offer. Feel free to sulk off with your tail between your legs, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Please stop calling me by my full name. It's disturbing. Nobody's into it, lady. Nobody's into it. Quit it. Alright. Sorry, pal, but there's a more incriminating piece of evidence. Oh yeah? What is it? Why didn't you say so in your testimony earlier? You're kind of scary today, you know, pal?
Come now, Mr. Wright. There's no need for that kind of attitude in my court. All right, just please stop glaring at me like that.
Damn, Phoenix. Damn, Phoenix. Alpha dog in the house. This is the costume the defendant was wearing. Yeah. Maya's costume? Yeah, she was wearing this when we arrested her. Maya, she's wearing her channeling costume today, too. Is she not allowed to wear anything else? Excuse me. As you can see, it's covered in blood. I can see that. I'm very aware of that. And this blood on the costume is... Lab results show that it's the victim's blood, pal.
So there's blood from the victim on the defendant's clothes.
Definitely not good. Ugh. Were there any other clues you could glean from the piece of evidence? Well...
If you must change the topic, then the good detective here must testify again. But too bad. Not enough time. Time to move on.
Ah, yes. Miss Von Karma is perfectly correct.
Now even the judge is on her side. But if I bite off more than I can chew here, what should I do? No, press further. Press further. Why is Miss Von Karma suddenly putting up resistance? There must be a reason as to why she suddenly threw out an objection like that. There must be a clue somewhere on this costume. I just have to look harder. It's so... Oh my god.
Mr. Wright! Miss Von Karma's logic is perfect. There is no way for you to poke a hole in it.
Ugh, looks like my time is up. So about that costume. Your Honor. Actually, there is one thing that is up with this piece of evidence.
I'm sorry, what?
What are you talking about, pal?
Where is the problem you are talking about?
Come this far, there's no turning back now. The problem I have with this piece of evidence is right here, Your Honor.
Take that!
Poke a hole. I ask the court to please take a look at the sleeve of this costume.
The sleeve? There's a tiny hole here.
A hole? But that wasn't in the report.
Now, hold on. What is this around the hole? It smells faintly of gunpowder.
Gunpowder? No one ever told me.
A hole that smells of gunpowder.
It looks like I found the hole I was looking for. Your Honor, the only logical conclusion you can make is that it must be a bullet hole. That's right.
Order, order, order! This is a very grave matter. It's best that we correct the court record first before anything else.
Sorry about that. I guess we messed up, sir. Is she actually smiling? What else is she hiding?
Pull yourself together, detective. That tiny hole does not change a thing. The strength of the evidence still holds. Continue with your testimony. That just now was a fluke. Nothing more. Objection!
How can you say something like that? This is a huge oversight.
While I agree it is a mistake on the part of the police, what Prosecutor von Karma has said is true. The evidence still stands. If you don't find a more definitive problem with the evidence, then...
No way.
Detective Gumshoe, please continue with your testimony.
Yes, sir. What do you mean, wasn't fighting back? There's a bullet hole in her shirt. He shot first. He shot first. He shot first. Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yeah? Having you call me by my full name is kind of a weird feeling. You said that my client killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. Yeah. Then what, may I ask, is that bullet hole you police overlooked supposed to mean? Well, what does it mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means that the victim had fired off a shot. Is this what it means to not fight back? Oh! You're right!
It would seem that way. If the victim tried to shoot the defendant, then it would change everything.
Alright, the wind seems to be shifting. What is with that "are you finished yet" laugh?
Are you finished yet, Mr. Wright?
Miss Von Karma?
It seems that Maya Fey was shot at by the victim. However, that is only grounds enough to support a justified self-defense plea.
Well, that is correct.
But I'm sure you remember, Your Honor, what the defense clearly said. They rejected the justified self-defense and pleaded not guilty.
Now that you mention it,
Why, that's right.
now she's gonna whip about it. Which means the defense has yet to prove anything at all. Well, yeah, I guess that's true. And curtsy. Furthermore, the fact that there is a bullet hole in the costume, it's not enough to substantiate a plea of justified self-defense. Huh?
How so?
Don't.
Don't just stand there. Hurry up and tell the court what transpired that day. With the new information we acquired added in, of course.
Huh? You mean by myself? You want me to put together the scenario all by myself? Okay. Yes, sir. Right away, sir. Oh, the intense level of music. Here we go. During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. While the two was fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but because they was too close, he missed. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it.
The scenario you've put together does make sense.
Yes, sir.
Well, Mr. Wright,
Just by listening, it does make sense. However, I won't give up that easily.
please refrain from glaring at me like that. Now, your cross-examination, please.
What transpired? Here's what happened. Here it is. Yo, lawyering's going good so far, right? A little lost right now. I feel like we don't have a good grip on what's gonna be the solution to this case just yet. We're kind of just at the picking and hoping and wishing for like some sort of something right now. But yeah. Yeah, that's what I think too. Back to the scene of the crime. We gotta find that bullet. That'd definitely be good evidence. All right, back in. During the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. There is quite a difference in height between Dr. Gray and the defendant. Add in body strength, and it seems unlikely that the defendant could have stabbed the victim. Now that you mention it, yeah, I guess.
You think you can get away with such flimsy reasoning? Mr. Phoenix Wright! Maya Fey was in the middle of channeling, was she not? When channeling with the courtroom channeling technique, the medium physically changes. With the nurse's build, the defendant could have easily been a match for the doctor.
I don't believe it. She even studied up on the courtroom channeling technique. She's a perfectionist, just like her pop.
Like I said before, I am perfect.
About what you were talking about, I didn't quite get it. Never mind. Let's just continue with the testimony.
Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. Alright, so he was stabbed, but the stab wound didn't kill him. But if you think about the blood loss, it was pretty bad. How bad would you say it was? Actually, I went to give blood the other day, and afterward I felt like a little lightheaded and dizzy. I guess the damage was maybe about 10 times the dizziness? Ugh. Sorry. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. Where in the world did that pistol come from, though? It looks like the victim, Dr. Gray, had specifically brought it for that day. But a handgun? He got it off the black market about 2 days before the murder. Why did Dr. Gray bring a gun? Was he taking precautions against something? The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. So you're saying that the bullet hole in this costume was made then? Sorry, pal, but that's what I think. The two of them was already fighting when a shot was fired. I'm really glad you weren't hurt. The defendant then picked up on the opening and took the victim's gun and ended it. And let's press. Maya has never fired a gun before in her life. The victim had already taken off the safety. With the safety off, even an amateur like you could fire it by pulling a trigger. Even me? I wonder.
Now do you understand? Von Karma's logic is perfect.
His testimony certainly makes us look very bad, but there's gotta be a contradiction in there somewhere. And uncovering it is going to uncover the truth. I can feel it. Alright, so during the channeling, the defendant saw her chance to stab the victim in the chest. We know that during the channeling that they go unconscious, but I don't have that in evidence anywhere. Let's take a look through our evidence. Let's peruse the evidence right quick. One year ago on May 2nd, 14 patients died, yep. The guide map. The Megatama, which I don't think I could use right now. Mimi Mini, nurse at Gray Surgical Clinic, died after falling asleep at the wheel. Folding screen. About 8 inches off the ground is a small hole that looks like a bullet hole. Okay. It's gotta involve... I think it's gotta involve that. Okay, so 2 shots fired, bears both their fingerprints. Small fruit knife belongs to the Fays, bears Maya's fingerprints. I have a feeling the bullet hole is our testimony here. The victim took a shot, but because they was too close, he missed. How did he miss when they were so close, Mickey? Man, good question. I guess if you're that close, it would be easy to, I don't know, get your arm hit out of the way. Excuse me. To like, yeah, it would be hard to miss from that close, but he was just stabbed, so maybe that's part of it. So you're saying the bullet hole in the costume was made then? Sorry, pal, but that's what I think. The 2 of them was already fighting when a shot was fired. The defendant then picked up on the opening and took the victim's gun and ended it. See, the only thing about this evidence is that it doesn't do anything for us. Like, it's definitely related to that first shot, because the only thing that makes sense is that he fires gun, bang, goes through the sleeve, goes through the folding screen, because the same bullet has to go through both, right? It only makes sense to me. Where in the world did he get that pistol? The victim specifically brought it for that day. But a handgun, he got it off the black market about 2 days before. We don't have any more information about this pistol, but it's real sketchy that he brought it. Or someone was hiding behind the screen. That's also possible, yeah. What about a second person? There's no way I could present that right now, though. I don't have any evidence that would lead to that. I can present people, but at this point, I think it's a little too early. I do back that theory. I think there was another person in that room for sure. But I don't really get, at the moment, how we can find a big exploit here. Let's relook through our presses. Let's repress on the statement, see if we can like, go off of anything in here. Quite a difference in height between the defendant and Dr. Gray. Add in body strength. Very unlikely that the stab. Okay, now that you mention it, yeah, I guess. You think you can get away with such flimsy reasoning, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Maya Fey was in the middle of channeling, was she not? And then, yeah, when channeling, the medium physically changes, the nurse is billed, the defendant could have easily been a match for the doctor. I don't believe it. She even studied up on the crane channeling technique. Like I said before, I am perfect. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back. So he was stabbed, but the stab wound didn't kill him. But But if you think about the blood loss, it was pretty bad. Okay, and you're just gonna talk about donating blood. Where do I present the dress, though, is the question. What's up? Oh, I'm streaming for 12 hours. Not to be done something. I'm gonna send him a text. Okay. Sorry guys, give me 1 sec. Examine the robe again? Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. Just blood on the sleeve. Blood on the, sorry, hole in the sleeve. Blood in the middle of the shirt. That's all. That's all we got. And we know that it was fired close to the shirt because there's gunpowder. There was gunpowder residue around the bullet hole. I think, at least. I think that's what that meant. So while the two were fighting, the victim took out his... And then he took out his gun! Took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. So you're saying that the bullet hole in this costume was made then? Sorry, pal, but that's what I think. The two of them were already fighting when a shot was fired. Defendant then picked up on the opening. No, but there's no burns, just a smell. Oh! Oh, but there's no burns! Objection! There's no burns, you're right. You're right, that's what it is. Missing the tiny hole on this costume will be the prosecution's undoing. Huh? What do you mean, pal? This little hole has actually created a huge hole in your testimony.
Explain yourself, Mr. Wright.
You said that the two of them were fighting when the victim fired his gun at point blank, did you not? If that were true, then where are the gunpowder burns on the costume? Gunpowder burn? This is what you testified earlier. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. Oh! But there is not a single trace of gunpowder burn on this costume.
That is a very good point. And what exactly does this mean?
It means that when the shot was fired, they were standing apart from each other.
Objection!
I'm disappointed, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You think you can punch a hole in my logic with that? With wishy-washy thinking like that, anyone can explain anything anyway.
Then I implore you to disprove my line of thinking.
Let's see. In the middle of their fight, the victim pushed the defendant away. And it was then when they were separated that he fired. How is that?
No. As if that was even possible. According to the testimony, the wound from the stabbing was very severe. The victim would not have had the strength to push the defendant very far after that. That's right.
Well then. That's right. The defendant must have pushed the victim away. After stabbing him, she must have put some space between the doctor and herself. And then while she was preparing to strike again, the doctor took his shot. There. That should satisfy even you.
That does make an awful lot of sense. What do you think, Mr. Wright?
I gotta be careful. I can't afford to make a mistake here. Concentrate and think. Something doesn't make sense because because he had burns on his head. So unless Unless, like, she wouldn't have pushed him. Or if she wouldn't have pushed him and then ran up and gunned him, she would have just started shooting, right? Something doesn't make sense here. There is a fatal flaw in her argument, Your Honor. Fatal
Flaw? Whoa!
Very interesting. I would love to see where this flaw is. Show me something that contradicts my explanation.
A snag in her explanation somewhere. She put some distance between them before rushing to make the final blow. And when she was about to strike, the doctor took his shot. There must be a piece of evidence that contradicts this line of thinking. So you guys are saying the screen. The screen could be good evidence. The thing I'm thinking here is the shot. I guess the screen is our best bet, because it could mean a lot of things. But we're trying to disprove the distance pushing thing. That's what we're trying to do now. And I think for me, the best thing to disprove this whole distance theory is the fact that he has the gunpowder residue around his forehead bullet hole. That's what I'm thinking. But I do like the screen idea too. I don't know. I would like to re-examine the statements I'm going against. All right, we're gonna do the screen. This is the piece of evidence that destroys your logic.
What is that? A folding screen?
I would like to point to the court's attention this hole in the folding screen. Looks like you already know what I'm talking about. Who? What? Where? What?
Mr. Wright, your explanation, please.
Are those two really that clueless? This bullet went through the defendant's sleeve first and then the folding screen. It passed through at a height of approximately 8 inches off the ground, which means when the shot was fired, the defendant was not getting ready to strike, but was actually squatting low to the ground.
Order! Order! This changes everything.
Please look at this diagram of the crime scene. The victim, Dr. Gray, here where he fired the shot, and the bullet hit this folding screen. It hit at this location about 8 inches off the ground. At this time, the defendant was in this area. Like right there-ish. Like right there-ish. Somewhere around here. Uh-oh, judge's face scrunched like, oh no, it's different. It's a different spot. Further back, maybe. Boom. Boom, boom, bottom. Probably right here. Near the folding screen.
Wait a second! We know the defendant was close to the ground based on the height of the bullet hole. But how can you gauge the distance from that?
Isn't
it possible that the defendant was standing much closer to the victim?
That's impossible.
But why?
You of all people should know the answer to that question, Miss Von Karma. If she were shot from somewhere closer, there would be gunpowder burns present. However, there is nothing of the sort around the bullet hole on this costume.
Curse you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You.
I believe it has now been proven that the defendant was standing a ways from the victim when she was shot at. But do you think this has changed the defendant's situation?
It changes everything, Your Honor. The prosecution has claimed that the defendant was aiming to kill by stabbing. If that were true, delivering the final strike with the knife would be ideal. However, where and what was the defendant doing at that time? Squatting all the way over there by the folding screen? Exactly. If Maya Fey was the real murderer, why would she be by the folding screen instead of preparing to strike?
Upon further consideration, it does make very little sense.
Yeah, I figured there had to be some kind of reason. Figuring things out and proving the logic behind everything is your job. Oof. Alright, with this, the rest of the trial should be in the blast radius of disaster?
You are such a smart man, Mr. Phoenix Wright. To think you've been able to take a completely hopeless case to this point. Now I know why Papa had a tough time with you. You amuse me. Oof.
Of all things to inherit, why did it have to be that smarmy smile?
Detective, how dare you damage my perfect logic?
Huh? How's it all my fault?
You can start repairing your standing by first removing the 3-stand goatee. Oh, and rest assured your punishment will come later.
Punishment?
Well then, Your Honor, I think I've had all I can take of this detective's face. I think it's time to call in the next witness.
The next witness? That's gotta be Lotta.
Very well. The court will take a 5-minute recess. After we reconvene, we will hear from the next witness.
Bang! Bang! To be continued. I like that they give you save points between the like people in the trial. I wonder if my health recovers after this. She's got to be so on edge, man, being the defendant in these trials, where like every second of the trial is like, we have no case. We're just hoping somebody else fucks up. Like that's the whole thing there, dude. All right. Woo! That was a close one. I know you were giving it your all to defend me, but I could feel the death penalty hanging in the air. I feel like I was pretty close to dying myself. But you were wonderful out there. You listened carefully, made theories, and tricked everyone into believing you. Thanks. Wait a minute, I didn't trick anybody. That must be the lawyer's secret technique, right? By the way, is the next witness who I think it is? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Lotta Hart. Oh, another jam, like always. Remember, Nick, you promised you'd save me. If you lose, my ghost will come after you and haunt you. Along with my sis. Your sister? Oh, are you talking about Mystic Mia? Yeah, do you remember her, Pearly? My sister was a super good lawyer. She was also Nick's teacher. Oh, I didn't know that. Courtroom number 2, back in session. Hey! Hey, quit rattling back there, hey!
Court will now reconvene. Now, the first order of... Wow!
I don't want to hear it, old man. After I call my witness, sit there quietly and watch like a good little boy.
Yes, sir.
Bring in the photographer who witnessed the channeling. Witness, your name and occupation, if you please.
Well, hey there, Phoenix. How you doing? Just fine, Lotta. Just fine. Sorry about this. Didn't exactly have a choice, you know? Yowza!
Name, occupation.
I declare, what in tarnation? Hey, Judge, this here's violence against my fair self.
That is fine.
That's fine? That ain't fine. That's a whip. Ah!
There is no need for foolish outcries from foolishly foolish fools. Just hurry up and testify about what happened the day of the murder.
Well, I haven't even got to say my name and job yet. The name's Lotta Hart, paranormal photographer, and I'm here to testify.
Now, let's all be one big happy family, okay?
Witness's account. All right. She's got 2 photos she can submit to the evidence right now. Whoa! Dude, thank you so much for the $10 DZ. YWYZ.
Love the southern accent.
The whip in the courtroom. Dude, okay. Okay, real quick, just for Jimmy's sake, I want to give him a quick TLDR on what's happening in this case right now. Dude, essentially, what happened here is our friend, who is a psychic medium, was channeling the spirit of a nurse who used to work for Dr. Boy. The spirit of the nurse, while it was channeled into the girl, killed Dr. Boy, and now we're trying to prove Spirit Girl innocent from killing Dr. Boy, but like, she was possessed by a spirit and we don't even know if she actually did it, but it's weird shit right now. It's weird shit. I love how this game just spirals more and more into weird BS, dude. Alright, but back in. Only the doc and the defendant went into the channeling chamber. We was waiting outside the door and then bang! We heard this gunshot. Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down and we rushed into the room. Inside was the dead victim and the defendant waving her pistol around. I swear, other than those two, there was no one else in the room.
And did you take a picture of the scene right after the murder took place?
Wrecking cars. What? Wrecking cars. It's short for, you reckon? Of course I did. Ah!
Does it look like I care? Just hurry up and show your picture to the court.
Let's go. Let's see that picture. Let's see here. This is the picture. Oh, that's not incriminating at all. Wait a minute. The screen is behind him. If the screen is behind him, then that means they... Wait a second. Unless she moved before...
It would certainly seem that only the defendant and the victim were in that room.
Lotta's photo added to the court record. Are you ready?
Mr. Phoenix Wright?
I will clear all doubt about Maya through this cross-examination. Just watch me. Oh, I didn't get my health back either. Dang. Only the doc and the defendant went into the channeling chamber. Was it really only those two that went in? Dude, you were there. Don't make a fool out of yourself, Phoenix.
What are you babbling about? You were there too, were you not?
Ugh.
Why don't you answer yourself? Was it really just the two of them?
Yes. Dr. Gray and Maya were the only two who went into that room.
Hold on, we can't have the defense testifying against its own client.
Anyway, folks, only the two of them went into that channeling chamber, you hear?
But you knew that from the very beginning, didn't you? Witness, continue.
Well, we was waiting outside the door and then bang! We heard this gunshot. Ask less stupid questions, Phoenix.
Are you insane? You must have heard it as well.
Ugh.
Why don't you testify for the court, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Was it really a gunshot?
Yes, I think it sounded like a gunshot.
And why are we here listening to the defense testify still?
I heard a gunshot a long time ago, so I know. And I tell you, that was a gunshot that I heard. Now this is where the story heats up. Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down and we rushed into the room. So let me get this straight. This Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down?
Honestly, Mr. Phoenix Wright, why don't you just tell us what happened again?
Yeah, Miss Von Karma. I broke the door down. Sorry. Why does this feel like an inquisition? No need for apologizing. That was great. You're a real man.
Oh, really? That's something I would have liked to see.
The judge is smiling rather openly. I'll take it as a good sign.
And what did you see once you broke in?
Spanish accent. That's not a Spanish accent. That's my German Franziska von Karma. That accent has been changing every time I open my mouth. I don't know what I'm doing with it, but it's something. Inside was the dead victim. And the defendant waving a pistol around. Just waving it around. Alright, let's press. Are you sure it was the defendant, Maya Fey? Sure, I'm sure. Lada seems awful confident in her testimony. Press harder. Lada, please think back to the day one more time. What you getting at? Remember what you said when we broke into the room? I was murdered. Lada, at a time like this? Times like this are perfect for snapping up shots. But anyway, what's going on here? This gal, is she Maya? When you saw the murderer at that time, you couldn't even tell if it was Maya Fey or not. Am I correct? Well, yeah, you see?
Order, Miss Hart. You are here to present an accurate testimony.
Yeah, sorry. Good. This shifts things back to my side.
For a defense lawyer, your defense is terribly lacking, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Now that we brought attention to my bad accent, like I can't even keep up what was happening.
Witness! Think back to when those two entered the channeling chamber.
When they entered?
One of those people entered the chamber was Maya Fey, correct?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was Maya that went in.
It looks like we've come to a collective conclusion. The person in this picture is most certainly Maya Fey.
Exactly. Rats. And I'm trapped like one again. I swear, other than those two, I don't think there's no one else in the room. Are you absolutely certain of that? Sure am. But that old witch chased us out of the room, so... Old witch, does she mean Morgan Fey? But there was no one else in there and you know it. The channeling chamber was very dark, almost pitch black. Was there really no one else in there? What about behind the folding screen? What about behind the folding screen? Did you check back there? Wreck given? Huh? What in the... Wreck given, you know. You reckon? That's a given. I took me a good looking around the room once. There ain't no way anyone was hanging out behind no folding screens.
If I may have a word with you, Miss Hart.
What, you got a problem?
Wreck given. I mean, I am having a little difficulty in understanding you. If you would stop saying such things as reckon giving and...
Now then, Mr. Phoenix Wright, do you see a problem with the testimony or don't you?
Ah, just as I thought. There is nothing wrong with her testimony. I was with her, so I know she's telling the truth.
Enough. It seems that there are no issues with Miss Hart's testimony.
At the time of the crime, only 2 people were in the channeling chamber. The victim, Dr. Turner Gray, and the defendant, Maya Fey.
The face of the defendant cannot be verified in this picture. However, if we think about the circumstances, it would have to be the defendant.
What am I gonna do if I just let this go?
What is it, Mr. Wright? You look as if you look as if you have something to say.
If I make one wrong move, I'm gonna have the judge against me. Is there anything I can present that would prove it's not Maya in this photo? Not that. I love this music right here. Not the costume, not the knife, not the pistol, not the autopsy report, not the floor plans, not the black key. Wait. No, not the black key. Wait. No. Not the folding screen. Not the clippings. And not any of this. Nope, I got nothing. Nope, I got nothing.
Well, Mr. Wright?
Nothing, Your Honor.
That's very smart of you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You really should give up trying to prove this is not Maya Fey.
I didn't say anything about giving up. I just don't have the right piece of evidence to prove my argument.
That's enough.
Is this it? Is this all I could do?
I think it is quite obvious to the court that a verdict of not guilty is just not possible.
I told you. Totally 100% impossible.
Miss Von Karma, do you have any further questions for the witness?
Having established the defendant's guilt, further questioning won't be enabled.
What about the defense? No further questions, I presume?
I couldn't protect Maya. The defense. The defense. Oh no. Oh, what's gonna happen? Oh, look. It's spirit channelers talking to us. Who would have guessed? Phoenix, you can't make that kind of face. A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. And now the little girl has grown into a fully sized, a voluptuous woman. We'll use that term, voluptuous. This right over here is the woman who was not moments ago like a 9-year-old little girl. Like this is weird. I don't like this part. You can't just, it's one of the laws. Matter cannot be created. You can't just do that. It's a rule, man. I guess I made it just in time, wouldn't you say? But Pearls. Her clothes are a bit small. I'm practically bursting out of them. Anyway, what are you waiting for, Phoenix? Let's go. But how? She's already taken away every advantage. The advantage is still in your hand. Think carefully one more time about what you saw in the channeling chamber. Do you remember what you told me yesterday? 2 pictures. She took 2 pictures. Give me the second picture. Dr. Gray! Click! And click. Second click. Where's second click? I was murdered! What? A lot at a time like this? Times like this are the perfect for taking a snatch! You see, there is one final piece of the puzzle. Mia? Question Lotta one more time, Phoenix. I don't know if she's doing it subconsciously or on purpose, but she's not testifying truthfully.
Ahem, ahem. Now then, this court would like to end this cross-examination period.
Not so fast, Judge! Not so fast, dude. The defense would like to request that the witness testify one more time.
Overruled. I'm afraid you're too late, Mr. Wright. The cross-examination has already ended. Furthermore, any unrelated...
It's fine. I'll allow another testimony. Von Karma's case is perfect. Absolutely flawless. And what's better time than this for you to see that?
But, I mean, I have some place I must go after this. All right, I'll allow it. Miss Hart, hurry and give us another testimony.
What the heck am I supposed to talk about? Please tell us one more time what happened when you burst into the channeling chamber. Alright, you got it. See, you got through to the judge somehow, right? Well, actually, it was Von Karma's whip that got through to him. Alright, witness account part 2. The music's faster, but it's not on intense mode yet. When we broke into that room, all I could focus on was Maya. I was, kind of scared of that dead body, so I didn't take a good look at it. I'm really bad when it comes to blood and ghosts and stuff. But I still managed to point my camera at Maya and take a shot.
Nothing sounds different from before.
Some parts of her testimony were very vague. I should press her hard on those sections.
Struggle all you like as you taste the bitterness of your defeat. Well, amuse me with your useless questions, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'm waiting.
Here we go. When we broke into that room, all I could focus on was Maya. So, what did she look like? You know, she looked almost like a different person.
A different person?
She may have seemed like a different person. However, she is still Maya Fey. We have already made that point abundantly clear.
Yes, that is true. Well then, Miss Hart, did you happen to see anything else?
I was, kind of scared of the dead body, so I didn't take a good look at it. Then perhaps the body was not Dr. Gray's at all. Huh? Well, I reckon that's possible.
If the body inside that room was not that of Dr. Gray, then whose body was it, Phoenix Wright?
Well, what if it's that of Maya Fey after the channeling? Or maybe... Ow!
Foolish fuel spouting foolish foolishness. Just as I expect of a foolish fuel such as you. If that were the case, then that would mean that Maya Fey is in fact dead. And that would make the defendant's chair quite a lonely place, wouldn't it?
Sorry, Maya. Are y'all done here? Can I continue? I'm really bad when it comes to blood and ghosts and stuff, which makes no sense for being a paranormal photographer. And knowing that you still went for that job. Well, that's why I'm getting out of this here business. This gal's gonna get the dirt on stars and be a tabloid photographer from now on. She goes through jobs faster than a baby through diapers. Woo!
Mr. Phoenix Wright, would it kill you to stay on the topic for a change?
Well, would it, Mr. Wright?
Nice tag team in the stereo. Guess I should be grateful it's not in 5.1. Sick joke, Phoenix. Hilarious. But I managed to point my camera at Maya and take a shot. 2, right? To what? 2 shots. You took 2 shots.
But only one has been submitted as evidence.
Miss Hart, where is the other photograph you've been withholding? No, you got it all wrong. It's not me. I didn't mean anything bad. I know I can be a little mean, but I ain't evil. Well, at least she knows herself.
Then why have you not shown this other picture to the court yet?
Well, ain't it obvious? That prosecutor woman told me to shut my trap about it. What? Von Karma! How could you? I respected you.
Miss Von Karma, you're holding critical evidence?
Unforgivable, Von Karma. Suppressing evidence like this, you're as bad as your father. Let the judge do it. I'm so mad that even my throat's clenching up. I better let the judge handle this, though.
Miss Von Karma, would you care to explain yourself to this court?
I thought this picture was not important, and thus felt no need to submit it. That's all.
How could you think?
The pictures were more or less the same, so why bother with the second one? I mean, it's just so much more trouble than it's worth for me to submit this as evidence.
More trouble than it's worth? How can you say that?
Listen, if you want to see it that badly, I'll submit it.
Alright, we got the second photo.
What is this? What is this picture?
Well, it's obviously the second picture the witness took that day at the scene of the crime. Well, it's a little off-center, but that's what you get with a nervous amateur.
Well, I think the important point here is the person in the picture. This is most definitely not Maya Fey.
And nice.
What is the meaning of this?
This might be the break I was looking for. Now, should I or should I not insist that the person in the picture is not Maya? See, it's kind of tough because she already brought to attention. Von Karma already brought to attention the fact that, like, she knows about the Fey channeling technique, the Karain channeling technique. So if I insist it's not Maya, she's gonna shut me down. I'm dropping the issue. We've been through this so many times, yeah.
This isn't like you, Mr. Wright. Why are you not objecting? The person in this photograph is clearly not the defendant, and yet...
There is no way he can raise an objection and hope to leave.
Explain yourself!
Your Honor, I would like for you to take a look at this picture.
Whoa! You got an extra picture.
This was taken yesterday at the detention center's visitor room. This is Mr. Phoenix Wright and the defendant, Maya Fey, during his visits.
Maya Fey? But... isn't this a totally different person?
Like, is everyone ignoring the fact that the little girl next to me just transformed into a fully grown woman? Like, it's...
She looks this way because she is obviously in the middle of channeling a spirit.
It's unbelievable that she can...
However,
it is true. When Maya Fey is in that state, she physically changes into the person she's calling.
I wonder if... Oh my god, I'm so frustrated. I'm just so frustrated because it literally is happening right next to me. It's... this... Like if I was in court right now, pretend this fake court that I'm in right now is a real court, and I'm sitting here and I'm like,
Oh, hey, what's going on? I'm a little baby. Look, I'm 9 years old and I'm in the defendant's stand for some reason.
bam, check out my tits! Like, come on, dude! Come on, dude! Come on, dude! I hate the judge so much. I wonder if she knows what she's doing. Mia! Taking pictures of someone during a private visit is illegal. That picture can't be submitted as evidence.
Obviously, this picture is illegal. But I never intended to submit it as evidence in the first place.
What is she?
From the moment I showed this picture to the court, this case became all mine. After all, this image has now been forever burned into the judge's mind.
I don't even have a single witty line. It looks like we've been had.
I don't claim to understand this, and I still cannot believe it. Are you saying that this person is the defendant, Maya Fey?
If I give up here, the trial will end, but if I slip up and say something wrong, it'll cost me. Is there any way I can prove that the person in this picture is not Maya? Alright, so in the left sleeve of this shirt, there's a bullet hole. But in the left sleeve of the shirt in the picture there no bullet hole. I can prove it, Your Honor. Your Honor.
Oh, the fire has returned to your eyes, I see.
This picture. Within this picture lies a critical contradiction to all the testimony up until now.
A contradiction, you say?
So, you think you've spotted the problem with this picture? Then earn your key. Why don't you point out exactly what is so strange about it?
I'm pretty sure it's that sleeve right there. Take that! Please direct your attention here.
To the sleeve? But there isn't anything odd about it.
And that is exactly what is so odd. Something that should be there is suddenly missing.
Should be there? Oh no!
There was a bullet hole in the sleeve of the defendant's costume, was there not? If that's the case, then it should be in this picture as well.
Miss Von Karma, you intended to hide this valuable piece of evidence? You will most certainly be assigned a penalty for this.
Oh, right. This should do some major damage to her argument. Don't celebrate yet, Phoenix. You like to bring the mood down, don't you? Take a look at Miss Von Karma's face. She's got that condescending grin plastered all over her.
Tisk, tisk. Jumping the gun again, I see, Your Honor. I would like to extend an apology on behalf of those incompetent fools.
What do you mean? And what incompetent fools?
If those fools down at the precinct hadn't missed the bullet hole, I would have gotten a report about it. As I didn't, I could not have known this picture was of any value to the case.
I see.
She's lying, though. I can see it. I can see it. She's doing it. She's lying. That woman knew everything. The bullet hole, the picture, all of it. But you can't prove that, Phoenix. Franziska von Karma's idea of the perfect case is quite fascinating, don't you think?
Your Honor, you need not worry. If you must assign a penalty, I'll make sure that the detective gets what's coming. I am sure there will be a great gnashing of teeth at the next salary discussion.
Or gumshoe.
In any case, this is a very big problem. When the defendant was taken into custody, her costume had a bullet hole in its sleeve. However, from this photo, it would appear that right after the shooting, there was none. The judge is confused by this strange twist of events. This is your chance, Phoenix. Load all you've got into this next one shot, okay? Got it. Your Honor, there's only one logical explanation for the contradiction. Okay, so A, the picture is fake. I don't think that's it because it's not. B, the bullet hole was made later. I also don't think that's the case because that's stupid and that doesn't help me. The shooter is someone else, which is what I've kind of been trying to get at this whole time. Bam, that's our option. The defendant's sleeve had a bullet hole in it, Your Honor. However, this person clearly does not. There can only be one explanation. The person who shot Dr. Gray was not the defendant, but a different person altogether.
What are you saying?
Order! Order! Order in my courtroom! If order is not restored, I will suspend this trial.
Yeah, so start whipping people. That's what that means. Order in the courtroom. Oh, better bust out my whip.
This defense's argument is a complete mess.
A complete mess? I fail to see how. Please, enlighten us.
A witness.
What? What in tarnation? Is that any way to ask a gal a favor?
Oh, be quiet, you. You were the one who said it was only the two of them when you entered that room.
Well, you know.
If you were lying, I swear that my whip would be the last thing you see.
Look. Y'all looking mighty scary. So why don't we say you... I swear, I wasn't lying or nothing. There wasn't anyone else in there, honest.
You see? Now riddle me this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Where did the defendant vanish off to? And where did this other woman appear from?
Why is it lately all I want to do is cry?
Well, if the person in this picture is not the defendant, then this poses two very big questions. First, where did the defendant vanish to? And second, where did this person come from?
That's right. Now hurry up and answer us, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Come on, you can't fall apart here, Phoenix. I can't believe that even Mia's calling me by my full name. But, I mean, how am I supposed to prove something like this?
Had enough yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Or do you think you have enough in it to turn things around even now?
To turn things around? That's right. Mia would always turn things around and change her perspective. Phoenix? So, where did this intruder appear from, and where did Maya disappear to? I need to look at this situation from a different angle. Let's see. What if before we broke in, a third person was already in the room? And what if Maya had left the room somehow? If I could prove that earlier, one of those conditions were true.
Mr. Wright, let's hear what you've come up with.
I think what happened before we forced our way into the chamber is... I don't know. Your Honor, I would like to present some evidence. I have proof that there was someone else in the room before the murder took place. I have proof now? Oh, I didn't realize that. I feel like this key is my best guess, because Pearl gave this to me. But I don't know. I'm trying the key. Ah, it's not gonna be it. It's not the key. I gotta try a different piece of evidence here. Think it over again. Let's think it over again. What if before we broke in, the third person was already in the room? And what if Maya had left that room somehow? If I could prove that either of those conditions were true. I could try presenting the key with Maya had left the room. But I don't know. Let's look at our evidence before we pick an option. We have this photo number 2 with the blood all over it and all that gooble gobble. And then we have this. And then Maya's costume, the bullet hole, the knife, the pistol, Dr. Gray's autopsy report, stabbed in the chest, then shot at point blank, gunpowder residue, floor plans. I could present the floor plans and like ping to right there on the behind the screen. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try floor plans. Alright, let's try that. Dang it! Alright, think it over again. We're gonna try out... We're gonna try out if my... Now I have no ideas. We've tried the floor plans and the key on, we've tried both of them on third person. Maya leaving the room's also possible, but it seems really unlikely because we were outside the room. Me and Lotta Hart and the other girl, we were all outside the whole time. So how could she have left without us noticing? That's why I'm confused. It could be something I can't explain yet, but I feel like, I don't know. You hold the key to, I tried presenting the key. I'm gonna try Maya leaving the room, and I'm gonna try presenting the key.
The chances of her leaving the crime scene is lower than the detective's salary.
Anyway, let's see some evidence. Prove that from the murder until the time of arrest, the defendant had left the room.
I don't think it's gonna work. Oh! Okay. Miss Hart, do you remember this key? Well, I seen it. Oh yeah, that's the channeling chamber key, right? Before the channeling started, Maya locked the door from the inside with that.
The defendant herself locked the door?
Yeah, that's why we all couldn't get the door open. The key's the only one of its kind after all.
Oh, one of a kind, you say?
Wait, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Yes? Looks like she's catching on.
I'm afraid to ask, but why is that key currently in your possession?
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, if Maya Fey locked herself in, then the key should have had to have been in with her.
Yes, agreed.
However, she did not have the key at the time of her arrest. Well, ain't that a kick? So how come you're holding on to it? I got this as a present from a certain little girl. And that little girl was nowhere near the crime scene at the time.
That is preposterous.
This means that Maya Fey must have left the room. If she had not, then I would not be holding the key you see before you.
No!
Well, it seems we have come to an impasse. The picture has clearly captured the face of the murderer. However, is this person the defendant or not? The defense is arguing that this person is not the defendant. Furthermore, as proof, this key has been submitted as evidence. Miss Von Karma.
How can this be?
At this point in time, a verdict on the defendant is not possible.
Oh, a perfect case. How is there flaw in my perfect case? Don't think you've won yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I am a prodigy. I have never lost a case. And I do not intend to lose here in this courtroom to a fool like you. I don't care what I have to do. I will get my guilty verdict.
That is enough. If you would like to continue, do so in the lobby. Court will reconvene tomorrow at 10 a.m. And that is all. Court is adjourned.
Way to go, kiddos. (1:32 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Wow! That was your Pearly? Or that was you, Pearly? You summoned my sis?
Yep. I felt I had no choice.
Great going, Pearly. I knew you were special. Yo, Nick, did you know? Yeah. It's not like anyone else in there could have done that. Nick, I know you're trying really hard and all, but I really don't remember ever leaving that room.
And I don't think that the third person could have gotten into the room.
Yeah. Well, at least we have until tomorrow to figure things out. Like, what happened in that room, for instance. Yeah, I'm counting on you.
Ah, I envy the two of you.
Oh, by the way, Nick, do you think we could, take Pearly back home for me? Sure thing. All right, Pearls, you ready to go buy some tickets? Huh? A ticket? Poor thing, so sheltered. To be continued. I'd like to talk...